The deep waters of the South China Sea has been in turmoil for decades, with numerous nations staking their claim in the region. More than a third of the world's trade passes through these waters each year, and under the seabed lie immense oil reserves. Apart from this, the region is one of the richest fishing grounds in the world. Take a trip back in time with us to understand this interesting story. Two separate island groups, known as the Spratlys and the Paracels, are present in the South China Sea. The ancient Chinese feared these islands, as numerous ships passing through these waters mysteriously disappeared, never to be heard of again. Tales of ghosts and demons lying in wait for the unsuspecting sailor were aplenty, and Chinese scholars warned people to stay clear of these islands while navigating there. China dominated this ancient trade route for many years, but did not exercise its sovereignty or maintain a continued presence here. Moving on to the 1800s, Vietnam emerged as a major player during this time, and their king claimed sovereignty over the Paracels. Not long after, European powers entered the region. England established Singapore and conquered Hong Kong, while the French colonized Vietnam. Thanks to their naval might, they soon rose to dominate the region. The Spratlys and the Paracels, however, were of little interest to them. It was only in 1877, when merchants wished to mine the islands for bird dung, did the British lay a claim on the Spratlys. Overall, the islands continued to be a dangerous ground, and all parties avoided them. It was in 1909 that the Chinese began to show a keen interest in the Paracels and claimed them as their own, citing historical ties and archaeological evidence. But due to internal problems at the time, did not make any move to occupy or utilize them. With loose claims and no one really serious about owning these islands, the stage was set for a new power to move in. Japan had defeated China in the First Sino-Japanese War of 1895 and had annexed Formosa, or modern-day Taiwan. They soon established their presence on these deep waters alongside the Europeans. For the first time, the islands were viewed as a strategic naval base. During the Second World War, Japan established a large military presence here to coordinate its attacks. However, Japan was defeated in 1945, and the islands had to be returned. France claimed the Paracels on behalf of Vietnam, while the Republic of China moved in and set up a presence on Woody Island as well as Ituaba, the largest islands of their respective island chains. 2 years later, the Chinese published a map with 11 dotted lines encompassing almost the entire South China Sea, claiming it as their own. Britain did not say much, while continuing to maintain its loose claim over the Spratlys. Power changed hands in China. The Communist Party grabbed power in the mainland and established the People's Republic of China, or the PRC, while the Republic of China government, who was overthrown, fled to Taiwan. The PRC inherited the Republic of China claim of this dotted line, which later evolved into what is known as the 9-dash line. Today, both Taiwan and the PRC have exactly the same claim, mirroring each other. The international community considers the claim ambiguous, and China is unwilling to provide any further clarity on this matter. In the years to come, the Philippines and Vietnam gained independence. In 1956, Thomas Cloma Sr. of the Philippines, together with 40 men, took formal possession of numerous islands and proclaimed a new freedom land to the world. The Philippine government was not too pleased. As a result, he was imprisoned in 1972 and forced to transfer all rights over the islands to the Philippines. Vietnam claims that its kings ruled over both these island chains since the 17th century and hence are the rightful heirs. The 50s and 60s brought a new twist to this tale. Rumors that the region contains large oil reserves began to spread, and once proved to be true, led to violence, confrontation, and death along these waters. To help resolve conflicts, the Third United Nations Convention of the Laws of the Sea was signed. It now granted countries exclusive rights over all natural resources, both living and dead, up to a distance of 200 nautical miles from its shore, an area called the Exclusive Economic Zone, or the EEZ. Ships of other nations, however, would be allowed innocent passage through these waters. Beyond the 200 nautical mile mark, the high seas or the international waters begin, to which all nations enjoy equal rights. Apart from the United States of America and a few others, close to 170 nations are a part of this convention. As nations now look to maximize their EEZs, their zones overlapped at times. Some joined hands, while others skirmished. Contracts were handed out to foreign oil companies, and the region was abuzz. China, however, had its own plans. In 2013, it was revealed that China was building artificial islands near Mischief Reef. Satellite images show these islands to be equipped with runways, aircraft hangars, and even radar sites. These actions received criticism from other nations, including the Philippines, who sought international arbitration. In 2016, the International Tribunal ruled in favor of the Philippines, saying China had violated the Philippine sovereign rights by preventing the Southeast Asian country from exploiting hydrocarbon deposits as well as fisheries within its own exclusive economic zone. It also nullified China's historic 9-line claim. China has rejected the ruling, considering it a biased representation of Western interests, and says it will not be bound by it, while continuing to maintain its claim to over 90% of the South China Sea. The United States of America says that it neither supports nor denies the claims of the various parties involved here, but continues to maintain a presence in these waters in order to uphold the freedom of navigation. The US claims that their patrolling of international waters is in accordance with law to help ensure that ships flying the flag of any sovereign state do not suffer interference from other countries. India and the United Kingdom support the freedom of navigation as well. China, on the other hand, claims that America is destabilizing the region and must leave in order to allow regional powers to solve their own disputes. Each side is standing firm in what they believe in. However, without compromise or meaningful dialogue, the region could be a flashpoint of serious global conflict.